This is Devil's Favorite Advocate, Deuce loosely from FTW Podcast, and I'm here to do another short clip for y'all. And right now, I want to talk to y'all about something that I noticed. Well, I've noticed it for a long time concerning WWE pay-per-views. These pay-per-views, which incidentally people are still paying full price for, why, I don't know, but people are still tuning into cable and paying full price for these long, drawn out fluff fests. Yes, I'm calling them fluff fests for the following reasons. Because they run for 3 hours, much like any episode of Raw. They are fluffed up pretty much like any episode of Raw, except they have maybe 2 more matches, maybe 3 more matches per show. But, we didn't even really get Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins at Night of Champions. We got an impromptu brawl between a very hastily booked brawl between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. It was nice, but it was executed a bit sloppily. It could have been done a lot better, but it is what it is. Anyway, as far as the fluff factor concerned for WWE, first of all, you've got the guest commentary. You've got that country band, whoever they were, coming down for the Intercontinental title match for really no reason other than to push some new album or some show that they were. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, they're appearing at Tribute to the Troops in December. Yeah, yippee. Anyway, they were out there to plug that, and they helped the announce team provide some of the worst commentary I have heard in any pay-per-view ever, because none of it was about the match until the two guys in the act, the two guys in the country act that was sitting there got involved. But that was about it. That was about the only attention they really paid to that match, and it was laughable if it weren't so painful. Then there's the expert panel, which there's really no need for. There's really no use for it. I mean, I can't even wrap my brain around why this is a thing. Other than to give these guys who aren't doing anything but warming the bench something else to do, giving them camera time. It's like reminding people that, hey, we're still around, we still exist. Hi. And that is another wasted few minutes. There's also interview segments which go nowhere. It's really unnecessary. But I mean, every pay-per-view has them, I guess. And I don't suppose I can really count that against the pay-per-view. But it's their interviews could be better. I suppose that's what I'm trying to get at. There is also the. Oh, okay, I'm trying to read my own notes. Oh yeah, the segments, the backstage segments that really are, pointless. I suppose they're getting a little bit better about that, but not by much. The commercials are really annoying. It's like at least twice during every pay-per-view we get commercial breaks. And they are either to promote the network or they are to sell something or whatever. But commercials need to go. There's really no point in having them. It's like we already have sponsors for these pay-per-views. They're the ones paying the bills, right? And the announce team has the bottled swill in front of them on the desk. Product placement. They're starting to do it with irritating frequency now. They don't even drink the stuff. It's just sitting there on the desk like these guys would ever drink that crap in real life. But yeah, the commercials are another waste of time. the oh god, the matches themselves sometimes are even the worst violators of fluffing up a pay-per-view that I can think of. All the rest moves and all the stalling and the slowing of the pace, it doesn't make any sense. Like, especially, I mean, it really came to light when Randy Orton had Chris Jericho upside down in the corner, hooked up, and all he did was stand there and stare at Chris Jericho. He just stared at him. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't setting up for a move. He wasn't even, acting anything out. He was just sitting there staring at him as if the pace of this match could not have been any slower. Some of these guys, actually a lot of these guys tend to do this. John Cena does it too. He does a lot of rest moves. Headlocks and things like that. And that's another thing that wastes a lot of time. And there's so many other things that go on in these WWE pay-per-views that fluff up the entire event and waste time. I won't even go near the Divas. They're like the biggest waste of time that I can think of. And I swear, unless something drastic happens, they will never be any good, and they will never be worth the airtime. But I'd say a good at least half an hour of each pay-per-view is nothing but fluff. At least half an hour. And that's money that people are wasting on pay-per-views, especially the ones that are still paying full price. And if you look at the network, they're only charging $10 a month, $13 if you don't want to commit to a 6-month agreement, which is basically saying you'll have to pay $3 extra if you don't want to commit, which is dumb. And so basically that's all these pay-per-views are worth, is whatever they're charging you for the network. Again, I'll go back to the point I made last week about the WWE quality curve in general, just flattening out. These pay-per-views are just another example, and I really would like to see them, quicken the pace a little bit. Give us some more action. Stop wasting our time with rest moves and commercials and bad commentary and expert panels and all this other garbage that you're throwing into the pay-per-view because you don't have time for anything else.